Our audio will still sound okay through Teams.
I don't know. I think so.
Okay. Good enough for me.
Speaker, we should probably select our speaker. All right, impromptu podcast for me and Steven. This is probably the most informal podcast we've ever done. Oh wait, I even forgot the intro. Is it recording? Hello, everybody, and thank you for listening to another episode of the No Fluff MSP Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Taher Hamed. Got my co-host here,
Stephen Bador. There it was.
There it is.
I'm a little bit quiet.
Okay.
Close to my end.
Yeah, this is the one for the headphones, and then that's for actually what people hear. So yeah, I'd probably do headphones over. Maybe
Test.
Be turned up a bit. So we got stood up on not the fireside. We never get stood up on the firesides, but we have a Q&A every 2 weeks too. And we got stood up, and that's my fault because I didn't market the event. This is such a good example of marketing. Should we let the note takers in?
Again, yeah.
Let's let the note takers in. That way someone just gets like okay, here's even funnier. We're at the Q&A. The only people in the waiting room right now are 4 AIs. And so we're going to let them all in, and they're going to just join us on this podcast. So whoever owns the AI is going to get this really random report.
And if they talk, we'll be very scared.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to let them in. So anyway, we got stood up. So now it's just me and Steven. We're already in the podcast room. We're already here. So we're like, you know what? Let's just do an impromptu podcast.
We don't even have a topic yet. Yeah,
we don't even have a topic. So so today, what we're going to be talking about is I actually have no idea because we just clicked record. So Steven, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, you can always turn anything into a lesson. So I feel like it could be a lesson about marketing events. But I mean, all that's going to come down to is going to be like, we should have marketed the Q&A more. So it's not, 100%. The most exciting topic.
But it's such a good, we have such an engaged membership, like high retention, people show up to stuff, but marketing is not build something and they will come. I forgot to send the email letting everybody know the Q&A is here. And yes, it's on there. We have a calendar on the site that lets everyone know way in advance what events are coming up. But without the marketing, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I remember
we messed up our own thing. We're a marketing company. We didn't market the thing.
When we started out like doing webinars and stuff for Alltech, like very early on, it was like, oh, we have the registration page. It looks great, and we like sent out some emails, and that was the whole thing. And then we were like, oh, why aren't people showing up? And it was really just like the 2 week out, 1 week out, 1 day out email sequence, which is great, but we weren't doing all the things. Yeah. And then even though it lived on the site and its own page and everything, it was like, oh, we have a website page up. We have the registration link obviously on there. If people want the webinar, they'll just go through that process. But without the reminder, it's
without the reminder. So then we started adding it to our signature. So everyone at Alltech, anytime they sent any emails, boom, right at the bottom of the signature, sign up for this webinar. That's how we got people constantly going to it. It was like traffic secrets.
Yep. That's what we're doing for ScaleCon now.
Exactly. Yeah. So, ScaleCon.
We can always talk about ScaleCon here. No, the ScaleCon podcast has started. This time ahead of time, though.
Way ahead of time. So we're about 5 months out from ScaleCon 2025 in New Orleans this year. We've locked in 10 incredible speakers. By the time you hear this podcast, you're probably going to know who those 10 are. Don't worry, we're going to lock in more than 10. These are just the 10 who basically brought the fire so much last year. We're bringing them
instant locks.
Yeah, instant locks. And I didn't make the cut, unfortunately, but I'll still be the MC this year. I'm trying to get, that was a joke, by the way. It's my conference. Even though I sucked, I can still give myself a spot. So I'm trying to get like Steven and like Genesis up on the stage, but neither of them have seemed super excited about it.
I would do it. No, I would do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I would just need to think of like a strong topic that I want to go there.
Man, branding, man. Some of these brands you're building are just beautiful.
That is true. I can make a nice branding presentation. Yeah.
People need to know, people need to see, they need to hear, they need to understand it's more than a logo. Like when we talk about differentiation, sometimes something as simple as color scheme can be a differentiator. And you're just becoming a guru at that. So, giving you a branding spot, I think would be pretty dope.
It'd be fun. I mean, it'd be nerve-wracking, but
Yeah. I mean, we haven't even started, speaking of marketing, we haven't even started marketing the event yet. We already have 100 people from last year signed up, which is so dope.
Thank you to everybody who signed up ahead of time.
That's like almost 50% of the people are like, yep, let's do this again. So really appreciate everybody that's already signed up. If you haven't signed up, registration's open right now.
So just quietly right now, right?
It is like quietly.
Same as the Q&A. It's out there on the web, but like people aren't just going to go to it without us telling them to do it.
So ScaleCon.com, check it out. We have the launch video going out next Friday, and me and Steven looking at the sneak peek, and obviously we designed the layout and everything, but the designers are working on it, and it's sweet,
It's sweet. That intro,
dude.
lip sealed. They'll see
I
it,
mean, why don't we
obviously, yeah.
just give this is the impromptu podcast. You want to give them a little sneak peek?
Well,
What
I'm
were
just
you
thinking,
gonna
I mean,
say?
I feel like anybody who's already seen it knows that we're kind of going with a video game type
Yeah.
theme, which I mean, we're having a lot of fun with. And we're going to start having a lot more fun with it as we get
Oh
closer to the
yeah.
event, just because there's so much you can do with it. And like it resonates with all of us just being nerdy IT related people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the intro, like we're kind of going a little bit more old school though. It's not like very modern. It's kind of like the classic arcadey feel,
Yeah.
lots of pixels, lots of animations in with pixels.
Yeah.
And also tying in the city of New Orleans, because I mean, we're all just psyched about the actual location as well.
Yeah.
Especially the hotel. I've been looking more at like the website for it.
Dude, I think it's called Waldorf. Like even the name
I think
sounds
it's the Roosevelt. Yeah.
of Waldorf.
Yes.
I don't know, but I know it's Roosevelt. But like I think it's associated with
Too
Waldorf,
fancy for us.
which sounds fancy. It's funny because last year everyone's like, conference was great. The link sucked, which is really good. Yeah, I know it was like $40 a night
For the rooms, yeah.
I did Google if there's cockroaches in there. So this year we're probably going to get complaints on how expensive the rooms are, but it's okay because they're really nice. Yeah, I'm excited about this, man. I'm so excited about this. It's kind of funny because after last year, our entire team was so burnt out.
Yeah, it's hard to remember now because I think honestly, like within like 2 weeks, we were all like recovered. But that immediate moment after ScaleCon ended, I think we were all just fried.
Well, even after the recovery, I didn't even want to hear about ScaleCon for like
Yeah.
2 or 3 months. Like I didn't do any work for ScaleCon 25. I didn't even want to think about it because we just put so much time and energy into it that I was just like burnt out. But it's funny because like month 3 happened, then month 4 happened from the event. And then right around that month 5, it was like, okay, the burnout's gone.
Yeah.
We're just as excited. Let's get back into
I know what you mean. I couldn't look at the workbook after we were getting it printed for a while. And now it's like, oh, good memories.
Yeah. And what's cool is we're actually in the early stages of hiring a full-time human to run ScaleCon, have it be, just a full-time person just running the logistics. So like literally when ScaleCon 25 ends, we're already working on ScaleCon 26, but go ahead and start working through the administrative aspects of the next 2 events next year. A little spoiler for those listening. We're probably going to do 2 in 2026. I'm not going to say where yet.
Dude, the AI no takers are freaking out right now.
They're blinking.
Yeah.
Mute, unmute. It's all they can do. Spoiler alert. We're going to find out that these AI note takers just send the whole transcript to all of LinkedIn, and now everybody knows. Yeah, man, it's going to be fun. There's actually so much that we could talk about right now that it's almost like, what do we choose?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, full office now from where we were.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, probably even less than a year ago. What was it? Was it a year ago? That was still like me and Maddie. Was Genesis even here?
Yeah, she just crossed her
Yeah.
year. Yep. So now we also have Sunny. We also have Emily. We're potentially bringing on another awesome person. Got a lot of teammates in the Philippines who complement what we're doing really well. So yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool everything going on that side. So the last couple podcasts we talked about like 100% what's working, and there was like 8 different things that I covered. You weren't there because you left me for a week. I actually called you out on the podcast.
Oh man,
I started crying, like real tears, that I missed you.
Appreciate it.
And anyway, so yeah, but you're back, and so that was. I hope that went well. It seems to be getting a lot of love. All right, Steven, give me something else. I'm running out of ideas. See, this is why we literally have to prep for podcasts.
Or like something, yeah.
I guess I don't know what the fuck to say.
Hey, the outlines are great. I mean, when you have like, we don't like script everything we're going to say, but like having a sentence, we can go off a sentence forever, but then when we're just like freestyling, it's a little bit tougher.
Well, a lot of these longer podcasts I've been doing, like that last part 1 and part 2 in total, it was an hour and a half or an hour and 20 minutes because they were an hour and a half because they were both 45 minutes. I actually write almost everything I'm going to say.
Really? Okay.
So in those, it was like 4
for
pages
the solo one
each.
specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the like how to run a sales presentation, the co-manage, like there's a lot of ones that I've been doing lately, like the longer form ones that I literally read off the paper, like how to, if I started an MSP tomorrow, that was the first one I did it with that format. And I was really nervous because I was like, shit, I'm literally gonna have to read the whole time. But there was so much to
Yeah,
go
that's
over. I'm
really
like,
granular
it
too.
was
Yeah, because it's a
so great.
process rather
Exactly.
than.
Like I didn't want to miss anything. And fortunately, after I recorded that, I heard from a lot of people that said, hey, we actually love that format.
Nice.
So because of that, I was like, cool, I guess I can do this more. And people aren't, worried that I'm looking at the laptop, or sometimes it might not sound as fluent as us just talking like this.
Good deal.
So that's really kind of unlocked, like, oh shit, I can go longer form with these. I can go more complex with these because I don't have to worry about forgetting.
True.
So that's been a nice
Yeah.
add-on.
Well, if you don't have anything, I kind of wanted
Yeah.
to spotlight like how we're kind of turning back around. Obviously, we've already talked like live action videos are back to being a big priority,
Yeah.
and like we've got a process for that now. But I did want to spotlight like motion graphic videos are now like a big priority again, and we've got that set
Yes.
up with the teams and different design team members from the Philippines, like to really have the process moving. Because I mean, we kind of started out and we used to have like a motion graphic with each campaign when they would launch, and then as time went on, like that's a lot of the times one of the most intensive things to get created.
And expensive.
Yep, and
Intensive
expensive.
and expensive.
So I fell off the wagon a little bit, but now we really have that process down. With one of our animators who's been doing a great job for a lot of the content that's already up on the site that's animated.
Incredible.
But yeah, just fun
And-
to move that forward again, that piece of the campaign, because a lot of the time, like that's something that people mention specifically a
Yes.
ton. They're like, "Oh, I love the motion graphic explainer video." I know Sunny was saying, her boyfriend Colin, the account manager from Alltech, like he would see them and be like, "Oh, these are incredible," just like the animated format, not knowing anything really about them. So
Yeah, what's crazy to me is the animator we hire for this, we've been hiring him on a per project basis, and he's one of the most talented animators I've ever met in my life.
it's so fluid, like it's cartoony style, but the animations and movements are so fluid and lifelike. And I couldn't even imagine like how you rig that and make it
It's
happen.
insane, and he'll even do depth of field. It's an animated video. It's not a real video, but he does depth of field where the background might be blurry because it's further away, or the shoulders blurry because the computer screens in focus. Like that level of attention to detail is exactly the kind of people we want on our team. And so anyway, he was kind of telling me, because I was like, I gave him a solid video testimonial. I was like, it was like the best user generated content, not because I'm awesome, but because what I said about him was awesome. And in there, I was like, the only reason I've been hesitant to do this is because I don't want people to steal him away from me. Haha. I don't actually care. I want him to get work. But it was just like, it took me a while to get it to him. And he emails me and he's like, hey, you don't have to worry about that. He's like, I'm actually kind of like struggling to find work. And I was like, what do you mean you're struggling to find work?
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's tough. I might only get one project a month and it's from you guys. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it's probably because he's more on the expensive side because of his skill, but it's also because a lot of people just don't recognize skill when they see it sometimes. They say, oh, a motion graphic video looks like this. It's like, no, that looks like a piece of shit. If you want an enterprise, beautiful motion graphic video, you got to pay for that.
That is, yeah, because you see a lot of the times motion graphic videos that are just like those stock assets with the same characters brought in.
It looks like a moving PowerPoint.
Yeah.
It looks like you're moving slide to slide on a PowerPoint. And they call that a motion graphic video. It's like, yeah, I guess, but you're not actually going to engage anybody with that.
That is a good point. I never thought about it like that. The reason a lot of people might use those too is because like they think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Just because it's what everyone else is using because it's the cheapest.
They get a quote for
easiest type
thousands of dollars and they get a quote for 400 and they go, oh, well, clearly it's the same. It's like, well, do you want one that converts or do you want one that's noise? Which one do you want? And obviously we want the ones that convert. So anyway, I reached out to him and I was like, dude, we'll bring you on full time. We love you. Me and Steven have already wanted to keep doing more motion graphics. So it just puts the onus on us to keep doing them.
Absolutely.
Because now he's on full time.
We have an automation ready where we're getting 2-minute long videos for the actual campaigns as well as our podcast clips, which will start going out, or they might already be going out.
Did you see the one you're in it?
I did not. No,
Oh, dude.
I saw me in the outro. They're a funny style.
At one point, you have one eye going straight and the other one, for some reason, all the way on the side of your face because we're at the casino. So I guess it's supposed to make you look drunk. It is so funny, dude. Like, so funny.
Yeah, shout out Ray.
Shout out Ray. Ray Gun. He's not a break dancer. So what else is going on in your world, Steven? Steven just moved. He went from an apartment to a house.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Liked it so far. Yeah, today was actually the last day where like we got the keys and everything over to the apartment complex. So just one set of keys.
Great.
Feels good. Very close to the office. Taher's giving me a free fridge because we had to get a bigger fridge for our office.
We did have to get a bigger fridge.
Which works out well because I feel like a lot of the time it's like, this is going to get, I feel like you've found it a few times, like with the Christmas tree as well. It's like, this is going to get thrown out. Do you want it for free? Which is a good deal.
I'm unfortunately the opposite of a hoarder.
That's-
I don't like, Lindsay know, like I've thrown away fairly expensive stuff, unfortunately, because it's like I just get so frustrated with clutter. I just throw it away.
Gotcha.
I just can't, like, too much stuff. But anyway, yeah. So now Steven gets to benefit by getting all of the stuff. Yeah.
Nobody else. You offer it to everybody. Nobody wants free stuff.
Nobody wants this. It's like
Like a
$400
fridge.
fridge. Yeah.
Trying to think more MSP camp updates. What are you doing, Taher?
How am I doing?
Yeah. I could just mention the words, buzzwords of jujitsu or Pokemon cards. And this could become a 2-hour podcast.
I did get some new Pokemon cards.
List them all in detail.
I spent $1,200 on Pokemon cards last month. And whoever's listening to this and judging me right now, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding.
Get really angry.
They're awesome. No, but I got a Shining Mewtwo, PSA 5, Shining Gyarados, PSA 5, and a Lugia from Neo Genesis, PSA 7.
And these are all you custom pick them. Like you're not like pulling packs.
I don't pull packs
like,
anymore. Yeah. I used to pull packs and rip them, and I'm just not a lucky person.
I don't think you like that either, because like it would be a lot of clutter with all the filler cards. I feel like that you.
Well, I just threw them all away.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't. Some people like hold the filler cards, and I'm like, no, I'll throw them away. Like, well, why? They're never gonna be worth anything. But yeah, I just I would spend like $100 on packs, which isn't even that many packs. It's like 20 packs. You rip it, you get $10 worth of cards.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you might get more, but most of the time you're losing money just for the experience of ripping. And it's like, I could buy $100 card, and that's a really nice card. I'll just buy the card,
That's true. And then some like a kid or somebody around there gets the satisfaction of actually opening the pack rather than like, I feel like sometimes like people will take the stock away and just like rip them all for the sake of the profit. But I feel like still that fun aspect is preserved, like when you're buying the ones that you want and you know you're gonna be happy with it, and then like other people are getting the opportunity to rip them and keep all the cards just because they like the Pokemon.
Yep.
It's cool.
On the jiu-jitsu front, I'm starting to get
Pokemon update.
I'm starting to get cauliflower ear, unfortunately. Let's come up to the camera.
Show AI note takers. What do you think of Taher's ear?
I mean, that's very unfortunate. Like, I do not
think it's that.
It's not bad yet, but it's definitely coming in. Like this look, there's no crinkles. It's all smooth.
Yeah. And is that just like a matter of time when it comes to combat sports, I guess?
Fortunately, I mean, there are some people that train for decades and never get it. But I think it comes down to like the genetics of your ears. Like I think if you have like harder ears in general, you're gonna get it.
And it comes from contact to the ear.
Yeah, oftentimes like a impact.
Okay, gotcha. And it smooths it.
Yeah, and so it's already happening. I look at them like that's definitely a thing, which I don't like at all the way cauliflower ear looks. So I bought this stupid headgear.
Oh, headgear for it, yeah.
So now I'm the one guy in the gym that's rolling around with this dumb headgear on, but I'm like, I'm on a lot of videos, like, my wife doesn't want me to have cauliflower. Like, I'm sorry, I can't be the guy that's like, oh, I like cauliflower ear because I work really hard. It's like, no, it's like, it's not the prettiest thing in the world. So, what about you, Steven? How are you? How's life? Oh, by the way, we're gonna rename this podcast just for this episode called the Fluff MSP Marketing.
Yeah, it's all fluff. Is this are we gonna put it up today, or is it gonna be like?
No, we already had one out today.
Gotcha.
We'll just put
you're right.
We'll put it next Friday, and then I can cancel our scheduled podcast.
Yes.
And for those listening today, I'm so sorry that you're getting no value out of this episode, but you're still here, so I guess it's not horrible.
Yeah. Next time, show up to the Q&A. Maybe we won't have to do this. No, I mean everything's okay. I mean, obviously, it's just been like busy moving, getting everything done, but like finally setting back into routine. I'm liking the more space of the house. Yeah, it's very nice. Just renting it there, close to the office. I don't know. Can't really complain. Finally picked up running again. It was because before I didn't like that the apartment complex where like you couldn't really get a run in because it was like you could only go one way, and now like we're in a neighborhood, so you can like pick different routes, which is fun, and it's always been a part of thing. It's like something I've done a lot when I was younger, like high school age, and just kind of like and college as well, but kind of fell off recently. But I've always just I don't know felt better when I was getting consistent like cardio exercise in that way rather than just like doing a treadmill.
Yeah, no, it's way better.
It's very hot in Florida. Yeah, I realized again when I went out a few days ago.
In Florida,
yeah. I can never. Even if I think about it, I can't. Florida, like it's so hard.
There you go. You did it. Like
I have to say it like that.
Oh, got it.
Florida,
Florida,
or like a robot injection.
Florida sounds funner. I mean,
Florida.
Florida. And now I'm saying it way off. If you're still here, I got a little plug, a quick plug.
For ScaleCon.
ScaleCon #2. No. We have okay. We're finally posting on our own social media.
Mm-hmm.
We are finally
Big.
We finally have an
Took a while,
Instagram
honestly.
for the first time. It's funny, we put so much emphasis on like, paid stuff and
Ads,
content
especially.
that we really like. In my personal, like I always say, personal
Yep.
is where you're at. But it's like, you know what? That's why business pages, as I've said on the podcast, are kind of lowest value. And so like we're kind of doing a lot of the marketing mix. So it's like, okay, cool. We're finally ready to get in here. Sunny's already here on the CRM side of things. So she's posting for us. And I will say she's killing it.
Yeah.
Dude, she's killing it.
You were saying we're basically like adopting her voice on the Instagram as like the brand voice for a lot of things.
Sunny's personality is now MSP Camp's brand voice on social media. Like it's pretty fire. I can't wait to see what she posts. Like when she posts like almost every day now.
Yeah.
Whether it's a post or a story. So anyway,
what is that at? It's MSP Camp with the 2 P's?
With 2 P's.
Yes.
Someone has MSP Camp. Like I want to hunt them down and offer them, I don't know, a couple $100 or something.
Yeah.
See if we can get it. But yeah, MSP Camp with 2 P's on Instagram. She's also posting on Facebook. She just made us a TikTok.
Oh, really? You're gonna see Taher dancing soon.
I actually don't have a TikTok. Probably not gonna get a TikTok. But yeah, if she makes me dance, I'll definitely do it.
Yeah, it's like you're not gonna have any issues.
I'll definitely 100% do it. Like she'll just come into my office and she'll be like, "Hey, make this stupid face," and I'm like, "Okay," and I'll make the stupid face, and then I see later that she made like some video about it.
A masterpiece. Like, okay. Yeah.
So, and that's the other thing. Like, if you're struggling running your social media, just have somebody at your business be in charge of social media. Like, make sure it's somebody that's got like a strong personality or pretty creative. Like, just say, hey, your KPI is like 3 posts a week. You'd be amazed at how much they can post and still have a full-time job. Like social media. That's why on the last episode I did part 2, I put the effort for social media pretty low because it doesn't take that much effort, to be consistent on social media.
I have a question for you. I don't know if you want to share it on the podcast, but
let's do it.
I was thinking like for ScaleCon specifically, do you know like what you're going to tailor your presentation around if you're going to do it this year? Or
it's a good question, man. I've been thinking a lot about it.
Yeah. It might not be too early, honestly.
Yeah, it's not. I've been thinking a lot about what I'm going to do. I'm either going to be like highly tactical, which is obviously what ScaleCon likes, where it's like this is how you do this really specific thing. But I also feel like I'm getting to the point where I have enough like life experience to maybe do one of those like
story
narrative motivation with lessons in between, like between like my hospital stay, which made me quit drinking and change my life, thinking that was the worst thing of all time, to then having a child with cancer and realizing just how insignificant bad things in life can really be when you're faced with something like that, and then just like how much that has transformed the adversity building MSP camp while we were at Alltech and dealing with the child with serious health issues, and then like coming past all of that and what's on the other end. I can honestly say a much better life, like, so the part of me thinks there's I know there's a really strong story there, but it's like, is it the right time and place?
Gotcha.
And can I still make sure it has enough value?
The mix.
Yeah. Or is it just like Taher wanting to talk about how traumatic his life is, which obviously is not the case, but
no, yeah.
I think that's, I don't know if I'm going to do that one. I might just stick to like highly tactical, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been chewing on it a lot. What I'm going to do. Either way, I know I have to do better than I did last year.
I feel like there was an issue with the ones last year.
No, I mean, I didn't get any negative
but you just weren't feeling like it had that oomph as much.
I mean, the creativity sales presentation I feel like was really good because like I really meant it, and like it's a part of MSP camp. It's literally our core value. So I think it went well.
Yeah.
Like I think people liked it. It was a people really clapped, people loved it. But on the surveys, it was like everybody was talking about how other people's presentations were awesome.
Oh, I got you.
And I didn't get negative feedback on mine. But when I was looking at the survey, like no one was really like, wow, Taher's was like off the chart. And, me as like always trying to like, I'm also pretty competitive. Like, I'm like, okay, next year I really want to show up with the goods so that
get that survey love. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not only do people get a ton of value, but they're also like wow, that was maybe like one of the top ones, which did not happen last year, which I get. I get because we were also running the event and I use that as an excuse not to put enough effort into my preparation. And that's not okay. You know, that's me. That was me taking the shortcut. Like, well, I did all this other stuff. I don't need to spend as much time preparing. That's a weak-minded shit. I don't like to think like that, but it got the best of me last year.
Well, then this year it won't.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Sorry about the rant. What about you guys? Note takers? What do you think, AI? I just love that these three people that have, or these four people that had their note takers join the Q&A, they're all going to get a summary of this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
just talking. Yeah.
they're going to, and like the action items are like, action items like, Taher not sucks at ScaleCon next year. Right?
Just do a call of honor here. They're like, what is this Q&A today?
Steven's running again.
Oh, the fluff is back for one episode only. We get all the fluff out, and then
Yeah, like
there's no fluff left.
yeah. And the ad creative episode from a few weeks ago was well received.
Yeah,
it was well
which is
received.
good because we want to do more of those. It was fun.
So it's like, you know what? Maybe we can do. I mean, don't worry, whoever's listening, don't freak out. It's fine. We're still going to bring the actionable, no fluff goodness, but it might be good to have a little bit of, you know.
I thought there was still a lot of good information to glean from that ad creative episode too. And we've talked a little bit about ScaleCon this episode.
Yeah. And it's not just like, because it's not just because we're having fun doesn't mean it's not valuable.
Yeah.
You know, people tend to really like it. And it's way more fun.
I'm lying about that.
Well, should we smoke some weed? I got some.
You got some weed.
Just kidding, listen. I do not smoke weed.
Just light up on a podcast episode. I was gonna say, for anybody who has an office that they can change the walls, highly recommend getting a mural. Because every day I always appreciate the mural, and I thought it would get. I didn't think it was gonna get old, but I was like, eventually it's just gonna be like normal. But I still like walking in the morning and be like, oh, this mural's sick. Like it just adds so much to the office. So customization of your space where you work is big.
100%. And it was like $6,000, which that's not cheap, but it's like to have it there as long as you're there, that's actually super cheap.
Yep.
A place you're at every day that you get to look at and enjoy, feel like you're in camp, like it's worth every penny. That's such a good point.
Yeah. It works for me. Like I've just noticed that it's like it is a positive benefit. Like
here's the other thing. One of our best performing ads of all time. Here's a lesson. Look, you just unlocked the lesson, Steve.
There we go.
One of our best performing ads of all time is the one where I walk through the office and I deliver what MSP Camp is in a fun way, and at the end I drop an offer. Do you think that ad would perform as well as it did if the office didn't look like a camp oasis?
It was just like cubicles. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was just a white walls and a cubicle, everyone would bounce. But the first thing they see when they come in is like this badass MSP Camp painted wall. So it's like, okay, I'm watching an ad from MSP Camp. The wall says MSP Camp. These people can't be faking it. Like it's that's a mural. That took a week. Like, you know,
you can't talk about creativity. Like if you gave the whole thing about creativity and this custom content that converts, and you're in just like a boring office, it'd be such a big mismatch between our identity and what we do.
True. Even the grass wall as we're walking.
Yeah.
Like, there's like the grass wall. They're like, okay, this is like a creative, like art-based company. Totally. Bro, it's so funny. I keep getting this ad. This is going to be on the, we need to do a worst ad creative episode 2. It's so bad, dude. It's, I'm wondering if I should even try and explain it because I don't want to butcher it. Anyways, it's like this one guy, he's like standing in front of a green screen talking about marketing. He's like, I own a marketing business and we help companies market. He's like, I've also owned other businesses, which also helped. He's like, and we've learned that with marketing, it's going digital. And he's like, he's on a green screen and like his body's flickering because the green screen's going horribly. And then on the next screen, he's on like a pedestal and there's like AI people behind him. And he's like, we figured out certain marketing things to really assist our clients with hopefully growing, or like, it wasn't even a good offer. And then like more AI people as he's talking. And I was just like, this is the worst ad. It was so bad. It was almost like a parody.
Like a parody type thing.
It was a parody of an ad which actually kept me watching. So I was like, this is either the
That's
worst
true,
ad
yeah.
I've ever seen, or it's kind of genius.
Because you didn't watch it,
I did.
yeah.
I've watched it like 10 times now. I keep watching it because I'm
Just
like, am I fucking missing?
you didn't mess with.
But then I feel kind of bad because you go in the comments and people are just ripping the guy.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
just like, well, they're like, if this is how you're marketing, I'm not gonna work with you.
People are mean to ads that are good, so I couldn't imagine what it would be like for ads that are bad.
That's a good point.
Because like even if an ad's good, if you're seeing it enough times, it's gonna piss you off. So
Yeah.
if one's really annoying, oh man.
It's kind of funny. You're right. The one ad I've ever seen where it's like all positive is that ad of me walking through
Really?
the I mean, a lot of our other ads, people are like, fucking fuck you, MSP. I'm like,
The
oh.
ram-eating monster is
You're like,
stupid.
you're a scamming piece of shit. I'm like, okay, man, I'm not gonna read these comments.
That guy has cauliflower here.
But dude, you got me. But on that one, a lot of people like Doug commented and was like, not sure how this ended up on my feed, but nice. Someone else was like, Taher, you're the man. I was like, these aren't even bots, I swear. Like I checked their
That
profile.
is good, yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I wonder
a
how
couple
much of
people,
it.
because the whole call to action is like, is it worth $97? But a lot of people literally just put yes exclamation point. I'm like, man,
Oh, that's great.
this is the most positive ad section I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it is just like because what I like about that ad too. I don't know if we did it intentionally or not. Where it's like it respects the viewer's time in the sense where it's like it's not super fast cut or anything. Like it's really just the one shot of you walking through with things popping up, but it's not like way too fast paced. Like a lot of ads can just be like information overload, no structure to it almost, and it's just like call to action at the end. But this one, like the call to action is more woven into the actual process of it. So I feel like I don't know, like when it's come up for me too, it's just kind of like it's not as obtrusive because it's a smoother flow. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
Um,
It's like a really good movie that not no, I'm not comparing our ad to a movie. I'm just saying when you're watching a really good movie that lets the story breathe, it's like more comfortable to watch. Unlike Michael Bay type stuff.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And I did that intentionally. I wanted it to be one shot because it's like, you know what? I think if we just kind of knock this out in one shot, it's as if you're giving them an office tour.
Yeah, it's like they're there.
Yes, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like they're there. So like quasi intentional. I'm really glad it worked out.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I can't seem to recreate that magic. You know, we tried a lot of the other ads, which going back to last week's episode on meta ads, 9 of the 10 ads you're going to try are going to fail. So you just have to keep going. And to us, it's more like 18 of 20. No, wait, that's the same ratio. Wow, that was really dumb. It's more like 19 of 20 fail, you know? Maybe not that high of a ratio.
Yeah, I was so sad that the cozy content ones, so like also like the blankets of content, that was dead on arrival. Like I was happy with that one.
Literally, no one even clicked it. I was like,
Yeah.
what? So yeah, one of our pitches was like we should be like wrapped up and like because our content's cozy. Like our content, like most content makes you feel bad. Our content makes you feel happy. So we had like Steven in a sleeping bag, me on a bed, Maddie like on a big beanbag chair of content, and like I still love it.
And it took a fair amount of design time too. So I feel like we're all like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. Like you can see the effort, and then just nothing.
I killed it after a week. I was like, this is the worst performing ad I've ever actually seen in my life.
We were all kind of sad when it happened. Yeah.
In hindsight, I kind of get it though, because if someone's scrolling on their feed and they see
what the hell?
somebody
Yeah.
sleeping, then they kind of see that there's like images in it. Like I get it. Like even a retargeting audience would be like, "What the fuck am I
Google
looking
Chrome
at?"
monster? What the- yeah. I guess you had to put yourself in the shoes.
Yeah. Ooh, I got a good one. So I was having a really good conversation with a friend and client now about offers. And you know, I think we've all pretty much read Alex Hormozy's $100 million offers now. And one thing I hear all the time, which I totally get, is that like, well, how do you replicate this in the MSP space? Which again, I totally get that. A lot of the things he talks about are really hard to replicate when you're an MSP. And I'm like really just banging my head against a wall to figure out what is the path to have a Grand Slam offer in the MSP space. Part of that is practicing offers at MSP camp. So for instance, we did an offer last month around social media management. We said, you know what? We're going to give you a full month to try it, cancel anytime. We're also going to give you a video outro, which is usually $300. We're going to build it for you so you don't have to place an order. We're going to make sure it's awesome. We're going to apply it to all your videos when we do social media management. And when I sent that email out, I was like, this is, man,
Yeah.
people are going to blow us up. Zero.
Yeah, not one.
Not one person. Not one person signed up for it. And I was like, dang. And I did the things from the book, right? I made sure there was scarcity because there is. Maddie can only manage so many additional ones. I made sure there's urgency, which there was. It was like, hey, we're only doing it this week, which was true. You know, I wrote compelling copy, I thought.
Yeah, and the value's there too, because I mean, it would be like they were buying it. Even if they just wanted a video outro, it'd be like they buy a video outro for 300 plus they get social media management with it.
Yeah.
So if like all of us in house, we're like, oh yeah,
Yeah, it's like 2 months of free stuff. And then they can still cancel on the third one because it's still
Yeah.
a month. Like to me, it's like, oh, easy sell. Like if this is something you're thinking about, then like perfect. So it failed. It totally failed. And you know what I did the next month? I did another offer. We practiced again. We tried again. And this time it was a Lifetime Scout Plus offer. And that one blew up.
Yeah.
The email was like super short. It was an offer that I actually didn't even know people would take. I didn't even know if anyone would really take us up on it.
Uh-huh.
And a bunch of people did.
Yeah, it's hard to predict. Like,
It's
something you think is
super
foolproof can just
And what does Alex Hormozy say? He's like, look, he failed all the time and he still fails with offers and he's the best at this. So I would almost encourage the, you know, if you're listening, like, how do you make your MSP offering better with a like grand slam offer? And one of the things Hormozy talks about is a guarantee. One of the first times I was introduced to a guarantee in the MSP market was actually Nigel Moore's sales presentation.
Yeah.
Where it was like, hey, if you're not happy within the first 90 days, we're going to not only cancel the contract, we're going to give you all your money back. When I read that on Nigel Moore's sales presentation, I was like, now that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful guarantee. I don't think many MSPs do that, even though they see that in that template, right? Because they're kind of scared, which I get it.
Oh yeah, just delete that slide.
Yeah, no, probably happens all the time. Or it's watered down. Like, well, no, let's not do that. We'll just let them get out of the contract within 90 days. Okay, cool. Well, then your offer's less exciting.
Yep. It very much so. Yeah, that almost kills the entire compelling piece.
But I remember pitching that to Tom. I was like, Tom, you know, Nigel thinks we should, like, you know, if they're not happy, like, not only are we going to let them get out of their agreement, we're going to give them all their money back. And Tom's the most conservative, like, you know, smart businessman. And he was like, well, yeah, that's what we should do. And I was like, what? From Tom?
I thought you were going to say he didn't want to do it.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, I mean, that's what we should do if they're not happy at 90 days and really want to get out of it. I was like, if Tom's saying this, anyone should be okay with this. So going back to the conversation, it's like, how do we do our own offers? And I was talking to a good friend, shout out to Craig, on how do we create an offer? Because he's got a really cool situation. I'm not going to spoil it here on the call, but like, he's got a really unique set of things on how he can do offers because he's not just an MSP, right? He has other types of businesses that are really complementary to the MSP that we can use as a value driver for a unique offer. So, but even for the MSPs that don't have a situation like that, there's a lot of cool shit you can do to come up with a really exciting offer, but make sure that offer's so crazy it makes you feel a little uncomfortable.
Yes, that's the key piece.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can you please check what the AI note taker said? I noticed it's in the chat.
I know. I noticed that too. It just said that Tony's or somebody has the basic plan and it's going to shut off.
Okay. I was like, what did it say? I have to know.
It's like, you guys suck.
Even the AI note takers are leaving early. Smells it else.
Hi, I'm an AI assistant helping Tony take notes for this meeting. You guys are not very funny. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Kicking you out.
Unbelievable.
Tony's on basic auto plan with 30-minute meetings. To record longer meetings, upgrade. All right, we're going to upgrade Tony real quick. Sorry, Tony. Well, it's good we got a lesson in. We got a couple lessons in.
A few lessons.
Yeah.
Disguised with fluff in between. It was kind of fluff lesson.
Yeah.
Fluff lesson.
Yeah, fluff, lesson, fluff.
Like it.
Lesson, fluff. Good. Anything else, man?
Oh, no.
Cool.
Podcasts are always fun.
I love this, man. I'm so glad we started these.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about it before in the podcast, I'm sure, a million times. We're just like, starting it out was really just a big question mark. And it probably, I think it did have that same like uncomfortable feel that you were saying about like offers, where we're just like, oh, this could be kind of cringy. This could be like not worth it. We might just be talking to air, or people hate it kind of thing. So, but it paid off.
And I remember the first episode. Actually, for anyone listening to this, you can go back to the first one that we recorded. Stop using shit content. And I remember starting the podcast and I was like, I know what you're thinking. The world doesn't need another podcast. But we had a mission. I remember we held that webinar the month before and there was like 100 people on it because it was MSP marketing. And I was like, we didn't even market this webinar that much. And so many MSPs showed up. We did it and they talked about how amazing it was. And that was the aha moment. That was the aha moment for me and Steven where it was like, oh, wait, this is an underserved.
Yeah.
It's underserved because if we did that webinar and I just literally gave the most generic, not generic, but like advice that worked for me. I was like, hey, this is what we did. And this is what we did.
Yeah,
and
pretty
this is
like
what we did.
surface level overview of the things within.
And people were like, this was the best. I think a lot of people said this was the best, marketing webinar I've ever been to. And that's when I realized I was like, oh no.
There's so much more. Yeah.
Like we actually have to start a podcast. And so like now, fast forwarding, it's been almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Because we started June.
That's crazy.
Of 2022. Wild. The number of people that have reached out to me or Steven and have talked about how much this podcast has helped them grow their business is insane.
Yeah. It's
hundreds.
Great every time. Like if you have a story, like please share it. Like it's the same as a testimonial for us. I mean, like somebody can just say how much it's helped. Like it's great. I don't know.
And also like
these are the warm fuzzies.
Yeah. And also like this podcast is like super casual, but the reality is we do spend a lot of time prepping for these things, getting them ready, posting. So when we hear from somebody that helps them, it gives us that extra, like, we got to keep this shit going.
Yep. Very true.
It's awesome. So glad we started this thing.
Let's get existential on the no.
Yeah, well, about time to hit the old dusty trail.
Oh, no. It did turn out to be cringy.
No. Yeah, my bad.
No, that's a good saying. I'm going to start using that.
Got it from Family Guy. All right. Well, we will not take up any more of your time. Well, I'm going to report on the analytics of this podcast on next episode's podcast and let you guys know just how many people dropped off. As soon as we start.
If people stay on, it would be very sad. It's like all fluff.
It's 100% retention. I'm like, oh, the stuff we like spend a lot of time on, everyone drops off.
Oh no. Hey, I mean, it's always good. I mean, sometimes when you're listening to a podcast too, you want the host to like humanize it every once in a while. Not that we're not like super rigid during the other ones, but
like chill.
Yeah. One fluff. Maybe if this works out, maybe we'll do like a fluff ratio, like no fluff 18 times.
Yeah.
Fluff 2 times.
And then we can change it to like some fluff MSP marketing. The some fluff.
Change the thumbnail.
Some fluff MSP marketing.
Oh no, Tony's note taker left.
Oh, Tony.
Tony's note taker.
Sorry, Tony. That's Tony's note taker. Okay, and now for anybody that's in the meeting, we're going to be giving away $1 million for everyone's in the meeting. Oh, let's pull the hat. Sharon, that's you, Sharon. Here's your $1 million. I'm going to wire it over. Thanks for everyone for being here today.
And we are also now bankrupt. I just
want to make sure the note takers send like the wrap up to everybody. And it's like,
I'm going to $1
$1 million,
Sharon. I wish I was her.
All right, y'all.
Well,
really appreciate it. If you're still here, you're a crazy person, but we really appreciate you.
Yeah, and technically you did answer a question. I had a question for you at one point, and you answered it. So we're still a Q&A.
Nailed it.
It's just that easy. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.